how do you record a good sounding podcast, and maybe you're out at like a conference or something. And a lot of people, when you see a mic or hear a mic and there's lots of people roaming around, you'll hear all of that noise in the background. How do you get rid of that kind of stuff? I use this Rode Wireless Go. This is a handy little package. Just know that this is not like you can't run over this in your car and protect these things. This is just to keep everything in here. It's just a very soft cloth bag. So you still want to be careful with this. So the Rode Wireless Go comes with some cables here. I'm not going to use this for purposes of the demonstration that I have. How I record a podcast at a conference, I have all my gear, my Rodecaster Pro and all of those things. I've got them in my studio, but I want to record something with decent quality audio that may be outside of my house or in another room in my house, and I don't want to carry stuff around. What I end up doing is I take this Rode Wireless Go, and what this is you've got your main receiver, and you turn this on. I'll hold this right here, and you'll see this come on. And each one of these are microphones that will transmit to this receiver. And when I power this one on, you'll see this light up on the top. See that light up on the top? And now you'll start to see that it's picking up my voice under channel 1. So each one of these is actually a microphone. What you see right here is a microphone, and my voice, and I'll tap on it. So you could see there, it's picking that up. So this is microphone 1, and we'll put this down. These kind of look like beepers. So I'm dating myself a little bit. If you don't know what a beeper is, I don't know, Google it. Maybe watch HBO, The Wire. That had beepers in it. So I'm powering up number 2, and now you see both of them going. So now you've got 1 and 2. So now I have 2 microphones that are transmitting to this. What I do at this point, in order to get it into the Zoom H6 and record these things, because these don't have recorders built in to them. There's no specific recorders. They're just microphones and a transmitter, is I take one of these cables, okay? You're going to have one side is red, one side is black, and they have a single black ring. And then on this side, let me hold this up so you can get a clear picture of what this cable looks like. This is because this is important. You've got 2 black rings here. And so what I do is I take the transmitter like so, and I plug it right into here. Okay? And so now your 1 and 2 are coming in on these 2 quarter-inch cables. And remember what I said earlier about the Zoom H6. It's not just a traditional microphone cable that plugs into this. Okay, this also uses a quarter-inch cable, and that's what these are called. These are quarter-inch cables generally. And as you can see here, this is what your traditional microphone cable looks like. You plug these into a traditional microphone cable. So if I wanted to plug in a microphone cable into, say, channel 3, I would do this, put it into 3. Let me make sure I go the right way. It's like USB cables. I always plug in the wrong way at first. But anyway, your traditional microphone cable here, if I wanted to plug in a mic cable, I would do that here. But I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to take these Rode Wireless Go's that I had just plugged in, and the way to activate your channels, and in this case, this is 1, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I would take this and plug it in here, and this and plug it in here, right? These are these microphones that are right here, okay? And then I activate mic 1, and you could start to see that this is reading mic 1. And we're going to find out which one is mic 1. It's this one. Okay, so I guessed right. So mic 1 is this black cable. And so now I'm getting it closer to my mouth, and you can see right here how it's coming in on channel 1. You want to make sure that your levels are decent. You don't want to get it to where it's in the red. You always want to see that it's at least green, high green, or yellow. You never want to see it getting red, and that would be clipping because you can't really fix that. So -6 to -12 decibels or dBs is the range that you want to be in. Looks like I'm a little quiet, so I'm going to dial it up a little bit in the gain right here on 1. Check, check, check. There we go. I'm a little bit louder. I'm in maybe the sweet spot, right? You don't want to get loud. So if I took this right now and I clipped it and put it like right here, and I could record while I'm talking on this particular show, and I would hit this button right here, and it would record directly onto my SD card. If you wanted to record directly onto your computer, you could just plug in the cable that they provide as well, and it goes USB into your computer, and it becomes an interface. You could choose it as your interface for your computer, but I use this particularly for what you see right here, which is I'm going on the Rode. Here's another little bonus when I do this is Rode has these things, which are cool, and I basically take these microphones and I slide these onto this, and they come with pop filters. And so now I have an actual wireless microphone, and I give it to my guest, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? And I'm talking into this microphone, which is recording onto the Zoom H6. So you have a portable podcast studio wherever you are with actual microphones. And I think sometimes people, they want to have a microphone. They want to be able to do this as opposed to clipping what looks like a beeper, right? To that. It just is something that they would rather do. So plugging both of those into here, you're able to get separate audio tracks. So as a podcaster, you do not want to bake all of your voices onto one track. You want to have them separate. And why is that? You could be saying something just brilliant, and I'm sure you would definitely say something brilliant. And if you were to say something brilliant and somebody were to cough, or somebody's dog was barking, or somebody was screaming in the background and it was picked up by the other person's mic, you could actually take that out if you have separate tracks. You could actually pull that out of your mix and just have your one solo track and not have to worry at all about it messing up whatever you had said. So you definitely want to have a separate tracks if you have more than one voice on your particular recording. And Zoom H6, once again, this is a great device. It's my favorite, my absolute favorite podcasting device. So now I want to add a third mic, and this mic is not wireless. This mic is wired. Already, you've got a podcast, right, with two people that are talking with Rode Wireless Goes, and maybe they're roaming around in an area, and then maybe somebody else is on a mic in an area, and we want to get them on this particular mic, the Shure MV7X. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plug this microphone into the microphone cable that I had plugged into channel 3 on the Zoom H6. So I've got that here, and I'll go ahead and get this microphone next to me. But I'm going to hit this 3 button right here, which is going to activate channel 3. What I like to do is to put it down at 0 gain, activate the channel, and then bring up the gain to where I want to see it. I've got the gain all the way down on channel 3. I've got the MV7X plugged directly into channel 3 on the Zoom H6. Now I'm going to hit the button. Okay, now I've activated channel 3. You're not seeing anything yet because I have the gain down to 0. So now I'm going to bring the gain up a little bit, and I'm going to start talking into it, and now you start to see, yeah, here, I'm fumbling up. I'm going to turn it this way. So now you can start to see, check 1, 2, in channel 3, you're starting to see the voice of me coming in. I got to crank it up a little bit more. Check 1, that's too much. See, the other thing that this does is you saw this blink. I'll do it again. You'll start to see a blink. That means you're clipping. And so you definitely want to bring your gain down so it doesn't clip anymore. And now I'm seeing the volume. Let me bring it up a little bit more. Check 1, 2. And now I have 3 microphones. Just so you know, and you can see that this thing is actually hooked up. So we're going to grab microphone 1, and you'll see as I tap it, that's actually microphone 2. All right, so that's mic 2. I'm going to tap this, and you're going to see 1 go up. Saw that. This is my microphone 3, which I had just hooked up. There you go. And now that microphone is going in number 3. So we've set this podcast up with the Zoom H6 with 3 microphones, 2 wireless microphones going through a Rode. I don't know why I'm still speaking into this other microphone. You can't hear me anyway on that one. But anyway, so I've hooked up this wirelessly with 2 Rode Wireless Goes, as well as an MV7X all into the Zoom H6. So right now, if I hit the record button, it would record 3 separate tracks, and you can determine whether you want these tracks to be MP3 or if you want them to be WAV files. Some people say WAV files. I'm like, why do you say WAV? Everybody says WAV. Anyway, the WAV files are larger audio files. They have more, a lot of people think they sound better. You can manipulate them a little bit more or whatever. If you record them in MP3s and bring them into any audio player, they're going to be fine, to be honest. And recorded voice should be in mono anyway, should be dead center, not really in stereo. But you may be recording something with your H6 that should be in stereo if it's not voice, because this will take instruments. So if I could I can grab one of these basses that's behind me and plug that directly into this device, and you would be able to see that. I could play it, and that would absolutely work. This is a recording studio, basically, right here that fits in a box. This is the other thing too, is this thing is rock solid. I've had it for years. It comes with a great case. I'm going to show you how the capsule process works. So I've got 1, 2, and 3, and obviously there's another one where I can do 4, but these over here say L and R, which obviously stand for left and right. That's what you'd be using your capsule for. So if I took this additional capsule, which is sold separately, or if I took this microphone, which is a directional microphone. So this is basically like it's taking this range from over here on the left, and it's taking this range from over here on the right. And you can see these are labeled here. And if I added this capsule to the H6, and of course this has a gain as well. And then I lit up left and right. Now you can look down here at the bottom, and you could see, I'm going to go ahead and turn the gain up. Oh, I got to light this up. So now you're seeing, as I'm snapping around it, this is picking it up. I'm going to bring this gain down because it's obviously too high. As you can see right now, I'm recording 5 separate tracks right now on here because this microphone is recording in stereo left and right. And you're adjusting the gain here. It's coming on here, and it's set to record with WAV files. Looks like right there. Just if this gets your creative wheels flowing, it really opens up a lot for you to be able to do that. This microphone, which also comes with it, this is a bidirectional microphone. This is what I've used for podcasting in a pinch. So I can put this onto, I'm going to go ahead and undo those and put this microphone on top of it. And so what I would do here in a pinch is, now that microphone's on there, I'm going to highlight left and right. So now you're seeing this. So your sound is coming in, like you can speak into this side of the microphone, and then you or somebody else can speak on this side of the microphone. So it's, if I were to tap here, you see it's pretty hot. I'm going to bring that back down a little bit more. You could speak there on this side of the microphone, or you could speak on this side of the microphone. So it's really just for podcasting. I've seen sideline reporters use this to where you want to be able to have an interview. This right here comes with it as well. And what this is going to do, it's not necessarily a windscreen. That's different. That's a dead cat, which is sold separately along with the DC unit with this. But this is a pop filter. So in case anybody says pizza, like you just heard, and all of a sudden that air went down into this diaphragm and made that big sound, that's what this does. Is this doesn't eliminate it necessarily, but it will definitely help to alleviate a lot of what we call plosives for you. So anyway, that is the Zoom H6. Pretty awesome. Can you tell it's like my absolute favorite piece of gear?